Pratham, you called it. You said New Zealand can't be pushovers.
Badri, you're a smart guy. I was going to start off the show by saying, what did I tell you? But
They played excellent cricket, beating India in India. Not an easy task.
first of all, Indian team assembled very late here, Badri. They started training only on Monday.
In fact, Rohit Sharma accepted it. I think he said that he little bit misread the wicket.
In India has not happened. A tail hasn't wagged in India for a very, very long time.
Magnificent catch. Just look at Badri now, diving into it.
Lovely shot. Picks it over the offside. That's a good shot.
Back-to-back boundaries. Hello and welcome to Cricket with Badri. It's another episode of Cric Debate. This video is presented to you by DIVO News. Hi Pratham, how are you doing?
Good, Badri. How are you?
Very good. Pratham, you called it. You said New Zealand can't be pushovers in this tournament. They're going to play good cricket. More than pushovers, Pratham. They played excellent cricket, beating India in India. Not an easy task. They did it, but what happened at the toss? I think it's personally a blunder from Rohit Sharma and Team India to win the toss and bat first of the wicket is been under covers for 3 days, Pratham. It was a no-brainer to bowl first. The ball was jumping, seaming, bouncing. It was hard to play.
Badri, you're a smart guy. I was going to start off the show by saying, what did I tell you? But you got ahead of it and said you're a smart guy.
I had to call it
Well
first.
played. Well played.
Hats off to you. Hats off to you. You called it. Well done.
I think it was absolutely, it is a blunder, and Rohit Sharma, being the kind of a leader he is, has come and accepted it. Doesn't make it right. First of all, Indian team assembled very late here, Badri. They started training only on Monday for a test match on Wednesday, which I was very surprised with. The squad was not announced till Saturday, and there was rains on Monday. The whole training session was washed out on Tuesday. There was no play on Wednesday, which means you have been at the ground. You've seen that the covers have not even been removed for 2.5 full days. And you were given a gift. You won the toss to take a lead 1-0 in the series. Why would you bat first? That decision was shocking.
See, being a cricketer, former cricketer, I get this opinion that India have taken New Zealand far more lightly. Right from the toss, they think that, okay, let's bat first and let's just bat them out of the game. Our spinners will come into play. Playing 3 spinners, Ashwin, Jadeja and Kuldeep, on those conditions. Like you said, they assembled only on Monday to play a game on Wednesday, Pratham. And selection happened on Saturday. It's all happening in such a hurry. I think Team India, management inclusive, and the players have taken New Zealand lightly. In fact, there has been such a big break before New Zealand won, Pratham. Let me give you some perspective. Among the 22 players who played in this test match, Rohit, Ashwin, Virat, and Ajaz Patel. These are the only 4 players who were born when previously India and New Zealand beat India, which is in 1988. Among the 22 players, 18 players weren't even born. It's such a long break after which New Zealand have won a test against India. That is the amount of domination India have shown over New Zealand.
I'll give you one more stat, Badri. I was still in school when this happened. So you can imagine how far back that is. I remember that test match also in Mumbai when Bracewell actually with the bat, like what Saudi did this. I remember that. So it was so far back, but I remember that. I was still in school and India bounced back and won in Hyderabad. They won the series 2-1. But that's the point I'm making, Badri. You hit the nail on the head. A lot of people haven't talked about this. India have taken New Zealand far more lightly than they should have. And I had a feeling they were going to, which is why I said New Zealand will sting you. They always punch above their weight. And remember, they played 2 tests in the subcontinent. They played in Sri Lanka in similar conditions. In Galle, where the ball bounces, then it turns. They played 2 tests there. And then they came into India. So they were very, very acclimatized with the subcontinent, unlike touring teams who just come in. And the other thing is, picking 3 spinners is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the minute the day 1 was washed out, it's only a 4-day game, which means 1 more day of covers. And when you won the toss, you know there is something in it for the seamers. Akashdeep has been pick up your bowlers in against Bangladesh. I was very shocked they dropped him and picked Siraj instead. And in Kanpur, 2 weeks ago, when it's a low, slow pitch, they went in with 3 seamers. Very surprised that with all the cloud around, they went in with 3 spinners and batted first.
For me, Pratham, I always maintain this as a broadcaster and a cricketer that you can't beat conditions. See, conditions, they come before the game. So you have to play according to the conditions. And when the wicket is like this, 3 days under the cover, why play 3 spinners? I really don't understand this. You play 3 spinners and you think that, oh, I have 3 spinners, I have to bat first. I don't think that's the right approach. I think the important thing is, okay, the conditions are going to be damp. I'll play an extra seamer And right now, I'll try to get the team all out, use the conditions, give the best chance to my bowlers. Which they did in the first test against Bangladesh. In Chennai, they did that. In Chennai, if you can do that, in Chinnaswamy, where there's always little help for fast bowlers, I think the conditions were completely misread. In fact, Rohit Sharma accepted it. I think he said that he little bit misread the wicket, not assessing the conditions well.
Yeah. I mean, moving on from the toss debate and the 11 debate, I think even after 46, Badri, I'll give you two instances wherein this game still could have been drawn. I think a lot of people on social media were thinking about a win. I mean, they were getting too far ahead of themselves. Opposition, you bowled well on the second morning, which is actually the third day of the game. You had the opposition down at 231 for 7, and you let them get 170, which in India has not happened. A tail hasn't wagged in India for a very, very long time. Overseas, yes, the bowlers get tired. It has happened. The wicket has flattened out. In India, you have a Jadeja, you have a Kuldeep who can actually take the tail out. So 231 to 7 was a major, major disappointment. And I don't think Rohit Sharma got his bowling changes right at that time. Bumrah didn't bowl during those 18 overs when they added 115 overs.
Do you think that Bumrah should have bowled more at that point? Because when
Absolutely.
the opposition is down for 7, you want your best bowlers to be bowling the maximum number of overs. So probably underbowled Bumrah during that time. And in fact, in the second innings as well, Priyatham, Ashwin bowled very less. When New Zealand batted, Ashwin bowled very less. There were some not so good bowling changes from Rohit Sharma.
And I was just finishing up that point, Badri. 18 overs, 125 that Tim Southee or 130 that Tim Southee and Ravindra added. I know Bumrah had a spell before that, but definitely you should have brought Bumrah back. And it's very disappointing that Jadeja and Kuldeep couldn't run through the tail. So, and Rohit didn't help them with his fields. And I personally am a big, big fan of Rohit Sharma. We've said it a lot of times. I love his captaincy, especially in white ball. But in tests, he's always been a bit reactive, especially with his field placings. You could see that yesterday. The balls were popping up forward shot leg. There was no forward shot leg when your only hope of winning the game, defending 107, was quick 30 for 4 or 35 for 5. That didn't happen. So Rohit, as a captain, was definitely behind the game. I don't think that will happen in Pune. So there are two other, and the other instance was you were 433 for 4. You have Sarfaraz and Pant have brought you back in the game. All you needed was a little bit of, cautious cricket, see off the new ball. The game was a draw. Collapse again. First innings collapse was excusable. Second innings collapse. The pitch was nowhere like the first innings. That second innings collapse where you lost 29 for 6. Some of the shots the tailenders played, including Jadeja, including Siraj, just not acceptable, not at that point.
I think probably this WTC is playing on the mind of these players. I think they're just going for a win. Their draw is, come what the situation, draw is out of the equation. That's how these players are thinking.
But then yes,
it's detrimental. In these kind of situations, it's detrimental for Team India, right? It pulled them back where they could have easily played for a draw. Now you've given points to New Zealand.
I'll beg to differ with you, Badri. Correct. You have to play for a win, fine. But a loss, you lose points, whereas with a draw, you get points. It's not like you get penalized for a draw. With a win, you get maximum points. With a loss, you don't get points. But with a draw, you get at least 2 points. So why would you let those 2 points?
The difference between being realistic and being foolish, it's a very, very fine line. I think Indian team was playing this line in this match. Talking about Rohit Sharma, I thought he played an ordinary shot as well in the first innings. There was no way he could have played. Even Sarfaraz Khan's shot was not warranted, especially in the first inning. Yes, he played well in the second innings, brought India back into the game. It is definitely a big positive, Sarfaraz's innings. Virat coming into form as well was a big positive for Team India. The partnership between Sarfaraz and Virat was really good. Sarfaraz has played for RCB before. And then talking about New Zealand as well, Priyatham, Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, hats off to them. Conway got a 90, Rachin Ravindra followed up with a 100. Two CSK boys doing it for New Zealand. That partnership was very crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I will take it, backward by 3 more hours. I know Rohit Sharma gifted them saying, here you go, I'm giving you the game. All you have to do is gift wrap it and put a bow on it, take the game. But New Zealand bowled brilliantly. They bowled 31 overs for 46. And in the 31 overs, it's so easy for somebody to get a quick 60, 70 and take the score to 150. They bowled impeccable lengths. It was perfect Christchurch, Auckland-like conditions for New Zealand, and they made brilliant use of it. And the catching was absolutely outstanding. So complete credit to New Zealand for utilizing the conditions. And also the conditions came in their favor. When India batted, the cloud covers came. Pant and Sarfaraz were going like a house on fire. We had a 2-hour rain interruption. Pitch got freshened up, new ball came in. But whatever breaks came their way, they took it. And in face of big partnerships, They didn't wilt, they didn't let their shoulders droop. So hats off to New Zealand for playing perfect cricket. Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway showed the way how you can bat sensibly, which Pant and Safraz did. But full credit to New Zealand.
Full
To be
credit.
completely honest, India were outplayed in this test match despite that fight back in the second innings.
Yeah, hopefully they will come back in the second test against New Zealand. But talking about Ravichandran Ashwin as well, we have spoken always highly about Ravichandran Ashwin over the years. But it was an ordinary game for him because a player of his caliber, Ashwin, because India depends on him. He's the backbone, especially his bowling. He didn't seem to find his length. Something was missing, so he was bowling full tosses. A little bit his carom ball deliveries were not pitching on line and length. I think he had a bad game, but it happens to anyone. But we have to note the point and talk about it that Ravichandran Ashwin, the stalwart, had a bad game and it affected India, isn't it?
I mean, we depend so much on Ashwin and Jadeja that we take it for granted. Like when we wake up, you see the sun, you take it for granted that Ashwin and Jadeja will turn up at home game after game. End of the day, they're they're humans, right? It's perfectly normal to have one bad game, and unfortunately for India, Kuldeep also had a bad game. Jadeja also had a bad game. Ashwin also had a bad game, and Kuldeep and Ashwin and Jadeja had a bad game with the bat also in both innings, which is very unfortunate. If one of them had done one department, I mean, it was a perfect storm for New Zealand. They got the best bowling conditions. Your backbone of the team didn't have the best bowling games nor their best batting games. It will not happen in Pune. These guys are too proud. A cricketing team. They have an impeccable home record. The cracks are showing, but I don't think they will go back to having a poor game in Pune. They will work hard and come back very strong. Of that, I'm very confident.
Yes. I think there were some blunders, there were some mistakes, some key players had some bad games. Doesn't happen often to a team like Team India, especially at home, and I'm sure they will bounce back. They are one of the best teams in the world. The quality of players, the combination that they have is tremendous. Pune will be different. I expect India to bounce back strongly in Pune, Preetham. Especially the toss. It's hard for me to get over that. But then, yes, that's the way the cookie crumbles and we have to move on, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think that was literally we gift wrap that test match, because even if there is no pitch, Badri, even if there's absolutely no pitch, they just say play on this outfield. You cannot get bowled out for 46. You're an international side. That was ridiculous.
KL Rahul, he dropped a sitter. That catch was it was a talking point at some stage that India could have come back into the catch. But we all know, I myself personally have experienced as a cricketers that yes, catches, they've always been taken, they've always been dropped, but little bit critical on KL Rahul. His batting form was also not being that good, Preetham. He needs to fire because there are many players out there waiting in the wings trying to take his place anytime.
I think the whole social media is on fire about KL Rahul, Badri, and I think it is unfair to KL Rahul. We discussed 3-4 instances wherein India could have still drawn the test match, and to pin this loss on KL Rahul, not that I'm saying you're pinning the loss on him, I think that is unfair. I don't think he was the reason for the loss. Could he have contributed a 50 or a 60 on that fourth afternoon to ensure a draw? Absolutely. Did he want to? I'm sure he did. He got a peach of a delivery. But I think that KL, I mean, I'm a big fan of KL Rahul, the test batsman especially. He's got the back foot play. He's got the cut shot. He's got the pull shot. But when KL Rahul comes out to bat, you always sense that he's battling himself also. Whereas when you see a Safraz or a Pant come in, I mean, their attitude is very different. And I will still maintain this. Maybe we'll talk about the Pune test in detail in our next show. But I still maintain this. In Indian conditions, you play a Safraz Khan because he is the best player of spin in this Indian team. You want to talk about Perth, that is a month away. Talk about Pune, that's 3 days away. So you play Safraz Khan, there is no debate. And one more player, Badri, who has had a poor game and who's gone under the radar, not a lot of people are talking, is Mohammad Siraj. Interestingly, I pulled up some stats for you. 11 test matches at home, Badri. Last 11 test matches at home, Siraj has picked up only 18 wickets at a strike rate of 63. So he's bowling 10.5 overs to get 1 wicket, and his average is not great. Mohammad Siraj looks jaded. I've been saying this since the World Cup. He looks jaded. He looks tired. He needs a break if you want to take him to Australia. He's not a second seamer. He's at best a third seamer. And in Indian conditions, he's not a Mohammad Shami or an Umesh Yadav or even a Nishant Sharma who could come and give you the wickets.
You almost,
Overseas, he's good.
yeah, you almost feel like they're just keeping him until Mohammad Shami is fit and ready to go. If Mohammad Shami is fit and ready to go, straight away he will come in place of Mohammad Siraj. That's what the feeling you get.
Then
I
why
think,
did you
but
why
then,
did you
like
drop
said,
Akashdeep?
even now, even in this squad without Mohammad Shami, he's not the second seamer. So obviously somebody else has to come and place the numbers that you mentioned. Yes, wickets can come and go, can be ever so little, especially in conditions like India. But then the average also is very high. At least you need to stop the flow of runs. That much you need to do as a test bowler. But then, thank you, Pratham. I think Team India will definitely bounce back in Pune. Yes, let's not, Perth is much far away, but then Pune test match against New Zealand is important. I'm sure India will bounce back, Pratham.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll look forward to that. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Badri.
Thank you, Pratham, for sharing your thoughts. This video was presented to you by DAFA News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon as well. So whenever we post a video, you will get a notification. Thank you, guys. Bye.